Hello again, and welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is, yes, you can change old habits. And the first reading from Louise Hay's book, Everyday Positive Thinking, and this quote is from Brian L. Weiss, MD. Know your thoughts and assumptions and realize that you may have swallowed them whole. Learn from your experiences. Discard outdated beliefs and thoughts. And from Julia Cameron's Heart Steps, the quote at the top of the page is from Frederick Frank. Merely looking at the world around us is immensely different from seeing it. It's called, I Find Strength in My Knowledge. I trust my clarity. I open myself to know what I need to know, to see clearly and accurately in all situations. I accept support for my knowledge from all sources. I allow the universe to hold me in loving arms as I absorb all proper realizations. And the last one is from a new book called Excuses Be Gone, Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I foolishly forgot to bring that book down with me, but I was lucky to be able to find it online, the excerpt that I wanted to read to you. So it's digital, so I can't show you the book. Anyway, it says, it's been said that old habits die hard, implying that it's next to impossible to change long-standing thought patterns. Yet the book you hold in your hands was created out of a belief that entrenched ways of thinking and acting can indeed be eradicated. Furthermore, the most effective means for eliminating habitual thoughts is to go to work on the very system that created and continues to support these thinking habits. This system is made up of a long list of explanations and defenses that can be summed up in one word: excuses. Hence, the title of this book is really a statement to yourself, as well as to that system of explanations you've created. It is my intention that all excuses be gone. Can I make dramatic changes in the way I live? Is it possible to change self-defeating thoughts and behaviors that have been my constant companions for as long as I can remember? Can I really do a U-turn and deprogram myself when I've never known any other way to think and act? I've been depressed or stubborn or overweight, scared, clumsy, unlucky, or any other descriptor you choose to insert here, my entire life. Is it even feasible or practical for me to contemplate removing these old and familiar ways of being and open myself up to a brand new me? This book is my answer to those questions. Yes, there is a way available to you right here and right now. You can relinquish any unwanted but long-held thoughts that have become your self-definition. Excuses Be Gone presents a powerful and easy method for removing deeply embedded thinking habits that are preventing you from being the person you want to be. The power of your beliefs to keep you stuck is enormous. Those deeply ingrained notions act as chains, restricting you from experiencing your unique destiny. You have the capacity to loosen these chains and make them work for rather than against you, to the point that you can alter what you thought were scientific explanations for your human limitations and characteristics. I'm referring to things such as your genetic makeup, your DNA, or the early conditioning imposed upon you when you were an embryo, infant, and young child. Yes, you read that correctly. Your beliefs, all of those formless energy patterns that you've adopted as your self-image, have the ability to change dramatically and give you the power to conquer unwanted traits or whatever you unhappily presume to be your fate. The implicable sciences of genetics, medicine, psychology, and sociology may cause you to feel helpless about overcoming proven facts that are said to determine virtually everything about you. I can't help the way I think. I've always been this way. It's my nature, and it can't be changed. This is all I've ever known. After all, you take what's handed to you, and you make the best of it. All of these are the laments of those who opt to use excuses to explain their lives away. Note, I will be using the word excuses for what many call conditioned ways of being. Every self-limiting thought that you employ to explain why you're not living to the absolute fullest, so you're feeling purposeful, content, and fully alive, is something you can challenge and reverse, regardless of how long you've held the belief, and no matter how rooted in tradition, science, or life experience it may even be. Even if it seems like an insurmountable obstacle, you can overcome these thoughts, and you can begin by noticing how they've been working to hold you back. Then you can embark on deprogramming effort that allows you to live an excuse-free life, one day at a time, one miracle at a time, one new belief at a time. The new word on beliefs. Have you ever wanted to change some facet of your personality, but another part of you insisted that this is impossible because your genetic programming is responsible for how you think, feel, and behave? That latter part of you believes in biologically determined unhappy genes, shy genes, fat genes, and bad luck genes, among many others. Due to your luck of the draw, it will tell you you have a set of misery genes, along with a sizable cache of weight-gaining genes. If those are the aspects you want to change, this part means to be helpful. But while it probably wants to protect you from the disappointment of failure, it keeps you stuck in an excuse-driven life. Using the use of genetic programming not to do anything about the personal characteristics that you dislike is popular and clearly acceptable in today's culture. So, using the aforementioned genetic predisposition as a rationalization, living in constant or unnecessary terror might be explained as you're having an overabundance of fear cells which you are stuck with. Thus, a formidable excuse is formulated. No wonder a part of you gets indignant when you attempt to be brave, since it believes, I can't change my biology. A sense of powerlessness ensues when it comes to altering anything about yourself that has become so established that it feels like who you are. This is particularly true when you observe traits and characteristics that have been with you for as long as you can recall, as if to further cement the idea that you've always been this way into your total worldview. The limiting part of you asserts, there's nothing that can be done about it. After all, I can't change my basic biology. Excuse me? Thanks to the principles I share in this book, you most certainly can. The belief that we cannot change our biology is beginning to be challenged by scientific scholars engaged in cell biology research. It seems that humans do have the ability to change and even reverse some of their genetic blueprints. Openness and curiosity, along with a desire to be free from excuses, are the basic prerequisites for learning about the exciting evidence concerning genetic predisposition. One of the pioneers of the new way of understanding DNA, Bruce Lipton, PhD, is a cell biologist who taught medical students before resigning to do research and lecture full-time. In a groundbreaking book called The Biology of Belief, Lipton writes that life is not controlled by genes. In fact, his research led him to the conclusion that they're strictly blueprints. The invisible, formless energy that constitutes the gene's environment is the architect that turns the blueprint into this mystery we call life. Listing hundreds of research results, he concludes that the old medical model depicting life's essential building blocks as physical particles is misleading, incomplete, and in most cases false. Treating illness more or less exclusively with drugs or surgery to facilitate a healing begs to be re-examined. Lipton's conclusions led to his resignation from the University of Wisconsin's School of Medicine because he discovered that what he'd been teaching, the model of physical particles as the controlling force in life, was incorrect. He realized that both the human body and the universe itself are mental and spiritual in nature. There's a field of invisible energy with a total absence of physical properties that creates the particles that we call cells. And this invisible field is the sole governing function of the body. So, since the body is not exclusively a physical machine, we can all find out how to control and impact our health. Even more astonishing is Lipton's understanding that our personal belief systems, including our perceptions, have the capacity to trump our genetic inheritance and our cellular DNA. It's possible to influence the infinitesimal tiny particles we've come to believe are the ultimate determinants of our lives. That is, when we change the way we think and learn new ways of perceiving, we can actually change our DNA. In other words, you can impact and alter your genetic structure by modifying how you see yourself and your place in this glorious mystery called life. Your perceptions have the power to change your genetic makeup. Your beliefs can and do control your biology. This may sound radical or even impossible, yet it is this awareness that will lead you to say goodbye to the excuses you've been unwittingly adopted. So I think I'll stop there because it's very long, I know, but wow, I mean, it's like you have to keep an open mind, and we have to learn all the time. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted. We have to keep an open mind, we really do. I mean, who's to say? You know, I mean, as we grow and as we develop, we look at things differently, and we learn, and we say, yeah, okay, that's possible, and then we start seeing it, putting it into our lives and making it happen. I mean, we have so many excuses to get out of doing things, and I think if we can really take on this concept of belief and know that, you know, if we really want something and we picture it, and that we can have it, we can do it, we can change our lives and make it for the better. And that's what I want for you. That's why I'm always giving you this information. You take and do with it what you want, but it's food for thought, and hopefully it's going to make your life better. So I send you my love. Until next week.